Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. How are we all doing? Have you had a wonderful week? I hope that you have. Sadly, no face on camera today, although Craig did spend a good amount of time doing some troubleshooting. So even though we don't have another camera, we have discovered some things. Pardon?
We hate camera.
Yeah, we hate live streaming equipment. It's what we've discovered. So hopefully this means that we will have a solution soon, because I miss you guys, even though I don't get to see your faces. I think it's fun to look at the camera and pretend that I can see you guys there. So tonight I am going to be making a books card. So one of our neighbors, whose name is Ron, he is such a sweetie. Actually, him and his wife are both sweeties. But Ron has a ride-on lawnmower, and he will go out and mow along the grassy verge of like everybody's houses. He doesn't do just his own, he will do everybody's houses. And I thought, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a card. I'm gonna use some houses from the Home Sweet Home stamp set, and I'm going to put muchas gracias, because he mowed the grass, right? Maybe a little Highland cow as well. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking for tonight's fun and games. I hope that is all okay with you guys. We have Woo's Creations here. Hello. We have Tiffany. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. I know. I'm very excited for the weekend. And another reason why I'm very, very excited this weekend is that this week has been manic. Absolutely not so. We've got our new release coming. Did you see? Did you see that we have, this week we had a big adventure. Actually, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But we have over on Instagram, Happy Doodlers, etc. We have dropped a little photo, a little sneaky peeky, a little teaser of our new release. So I have been working super hard. We have been getting lots of samples in from the design team. I have been editing them. I've been total graphic designer this week, and making sure that they were all nice on the catalog. And just before 6 o'clock this evening, that was me. It was clicking send, and I was like, oh, thank the Lord. I'm exhausted. So I'm so excited that it is the weekend, and hopefully get to rest for a little bit. Who else do we have? We have Pam. Hey, Pam Bell. Hi. Pam says, it's my first time here. Oh, well, it's so lovely to have you, Pam. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit different from our normal stream, because usually when there's no gremlins in my system, in my computers, you'll have up here at the top right a little face so you can see me as I craft. But we're thinking that we might actually have a faulty piece of equipment, so I guess we're gonna reorder one. So I've left Craig with the task of figuring out whether we reorder the same one or whether we go for something slightly different. Who knows? But watch this space. We have Jasmine here. Woo's Creation says, hoping my internet holds out as I'm on holiday. Hey, Woo, where are you? What are you doing on holiday? Are you camping? Are you in a hotel? Maybe in a caravan? My mom and dad are away for the weekend they have a camper van. So I was speaking to her this morning. She's having a lovely time. And in fact, I should probably mention now that next week my mumsy and dadsy is coming to visit me. So sadly, that means that there won't be a live stream next week, next Friday night. We'll see what the situation. I was going to say I'll do one on Thursday night, but Thursday's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. All week I have been hinting to husbands and children, oh, this is your 1 week time, and this is your 1 week warning that it is Mummy's birthday next week. I think I'm going to make myself a birthday cake though, because I know what I like. I'm not a big fan of the shop bought ones, because once you've kind of made home made cakes and things and then you go to shop bought, it's just not the same. Yeah. Sarah Louise is here and Ashley. Hello. Hello, hello. Jasmine said, oh, that's so sweet of him. I'm guessing you mean Craig, because he is a sweetie. He's the best. Marcy's here as well. Hey, Marcy. And Bob. Hey, Bob. And Bob says, sorry I missed you last week. That's all right. We missed you. So I am stamping a couple more of these little fences and we'll see how we get on. I might add some more critters to the box card once I get that far. But we shall see how it all comes together. So guys, this week new releases come in, and if you perhaps follow us on social media over on Instagram, you might know that we had a field trip this week. Woo! Hello. We had a field trip this week to celebrate our new release, because if you've checked out Instagram, you will see a little sneaky peeky. One of our new release stamp sets has llamas and alpacas. Yay! And so we went to, Morgan organized it, she's so awesome. We went to an alpaca farm. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And we took some photos. We saw some llamas and alpacas. It was amazing. Loved it so much. Absolutely did. Okay, let's see. We can get Mr. Moo Cow. Actually, afterwards, the lady who owns the alpaca farm said, oh, there's Highland cows over there near our house. So we went to go see if we could see them and take a picture, but they were like literally like so far the other side of the field. It was, we weren't able to really go and inspect them, sadly. We were saying, where were they whenever we had our last release? They're Mr. Highland Cows. So I'm coloring these in some Copics. I started off with wire 23 and I've got E57 to bring some of those brown tones into here. Jasmine says, I'll stay as long as I can tonight. Wiped out from work this week and I've been super busy with releases. Oh, that's it. It's tiring, isn't it? Absolutely. I know that feeling. And she says, I need to get some sleep so I can get in a weekend of crafting. Awesome. Good shout, Jazz. All right. So I'm coming in with a little wire 31. Some light tones here. So cute. I forgot his little tail, so I'm going to just bring in more tones there. I'm wondering if I should add some of this brown. It's more of a reddy brown. I don't know why it's called brown. It's kind of like a, I guess a ginger or rustic kind of color. Maybe add a couple of Couple of little smidgens of color using this one. Get some multi-tonals on the go. You're so cute. Marcy says, I am excited about that. My brother has a farm and he and my sister-in-law have llamas. Oh my gosh, if you saw the story, you will see. But I met this llama and his name is Lemmy. And he was absolutely adorable. And Carol, the lady, was like, if you just stand and kind of act aloof, he'll kind of come up behind and maybe give you a little schnurfle. That's exactly what he did. And he came up and he was like, breathing down my neck. It was really funny. It was very cute. Okay. Feel like I want to bring a couple more tones up. Underbelly. Maybe I will darken up with some dark grays. And this kind of in this area here. Blend it out. Create some good shadowing and shading that way. So good. Okay, I love him. Loving him so much. And for the fences, I think we should have some like white picket fences. So I'll use some C1. Is this C1? C0 actually. I'll come back with C1. Or C3 maybe. B60. It's more of a purpley tone, but I like it. I have a tendency to use whichever color jumps into my hand. So we learned lots of things about llamas and alpacas. Llamas are bigger. They tend to have more of like a thicker neck. The little alpacas kind of quite skinny necks. The alpacas tend to have slightly more curvy back legs, whereas the llamas are more straight. And also llamas have kind of like banana shaped ears like this, whereas alpacas have ones like this. So the llamas kind of go like this and the alpacas kind of like a leaf shape, which, you know, would have been better to know before I drew them. No, it was so awesome to go there and to see them. It was so fun. Marcy says, baby llamas are so cute too. Oh yeah, I bet you. The ones we saw were about, probably about born in April and May. So they weren't little itty bitty babies, but still baby enough. Back to school this week in our household. Sadly, it was a little bit short-lived. Piper was back at school on Thursday. And many of you will know that Piper suffers with eczema. And she can sometimes get little flare-ups. And so yesterday she had one, she couldn't go to school. And then today it seemed to be much better, so she went to school. And then she is absolutely riddled with a cold today. Poor little Pickle. Can't quite catch a break, can she? Now, what color shall we do our houses? I think we'll go for a sensible house rather than a colorful house, because it's for Ron, it's for a guy. He's retired, a bit older. I think he'll appreciate something a little bit more true to nature, I guess. Only three. Now I'm going to come in with a darker brown color, if I can find one, 835 maybe, and kind of add some brick kind of effect. Just little horizontal lines overlapping a little bit. Give the illusion of bricks. There we go. And once again, we'll come in with some darker tones. Oh dear, poor Ranger. Ranger's gonna have a whiff session. Our neighbor, they sent a message not long before I started the stream. They sent a message saying, 2 big bouncy castles in our yard if anyone wants to come and have a go. So I know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. But poor Piper's feeling really, really like wretched, so she probably won't be able to go. Might go and have a wee shotty though. Don't think Craig will allow me with my bad back. But hey ho. Hey ho. Put some lights on. Not very electrically efficient with all these lights on, is it? That's probably what my house looks more like. Jasmine says, really not a great idea with your back. Yes, Mom, I know. Lazy can't have fun. And that reminds me of whenever I was pregnant and it snowed and I was like, oh, I really want to go outside. And they're like, pregnant people can't have fun, Craig said. I mean, it's true. Best that I don't go outside in the snow, lest I fall. I'm liking this so far. Get some get a little bit of C1, C3 action for the rooftops. Maybe darken that up at the corners here as well. Looking good. So tell me, who has been crafting this week? Jasmine, I know you've been crafting because you've been doing some crafting for me. Which is much appreciated. I've lost it there, that's easier. We have Butterfly Dude here as well on Twitch. Hello, how are you? Okay, I need a color for my door. I think I'm gonna go for blue. I think a blue door would be nice. That would be cute, I think. So I'll add a little bit of B05 and I'll come in with B02 just to blend that out a wee bit. Jasmine says, up to Monday. Come Tuesday, I've been flat out at work. We're doing a wee bit of colouring now and plan a full-on weekend. Yay! Awesome. I think I'm going to go back to some light greys for that. And I think I'm actually going to just keep that trim whites. I think it looks very, very cute. So let's get my Happy Doodle mini die cutting machine out and my memo tape, of course, and get these little guys all cut out. And then we can start planning the rest of the card. Like I said, I'm thinking of doing a box card so that it's interactive, but definitely has to have one, the sentiment muchas gracias. I just laugh every time I think about it. And also it has to have the has a grass on it for sure. For those of you who missed the commentary at the start, this is for one of my neighbors. His name is Ron, and he's really sweet, and he will cut the grass along the front of everybody's houses. Right, the front looks really good. We go get a little tray to put these in so they don't get lost. So cute. I'm going to blend out his face a little bit. He's just a little harsh at the moment. There we go. Better. So yes, Mummy and Daddy and my sister are coming next week. Maybe I should try and persuade them to do a very special guest edition of Come Craft With Me. I don't think my mum will ever do it. She's one of these mums that hide behind the camera, and the camera gets out and she's not having any of it. She's saying, no, 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 I'll take the pictures. She never wants to be in them. And my niece Abby will be here as well. That will be fun. Piper's definitely looking forward to that. I am so itching to play with the new release live on air with you guys. If you haven't already, you might want to subscribe to the Happy Doodle YouTube channel. We're going to have a video with a full release overview coming up and sneak peek videos and all that jazz. But if we're using the new release, I will be using it over there. If we're going to be doing it on lives, I will be using it or doing my lives on the Happy Doodle YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed, you might want to think about doing that. Also to our newsletter. Be the first one to get a look at our new release. I just got a message there from Amy. You guys remember Amy from Crafty Purple Frog that sometimes joins us on these lives? She just messaged saying, oh my gosh, I want it all. That is the dilemma. Also, the freebie this time, oh my gosh, you're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. I think he's my favorite from the whole release, and that's saying something. That really is saying something. get my snippers. Just going to take a minute to clip away these sharp edges. I always get a bit worried that they're going to land on the floor and then like hurt Ranger's paws, which is why I always hold the snips and twist the die so that I've always got a grip in the snip and it's not going to go pew, not going to fly off. Oh, my stomach's having a grumble. Hopefully you can't hear that over the microphone. Whew, it's getting hot in here again. I don't know what it is. I must be having a like, I always feel like, did we even move to Scotland? Because it's so warm here, much warmer than I was led to believe we would have. All right, let's zoom out and see. Oh, that's no good. Good. All right, so where is my little die? So this is the big shadow box die, and to create our little panel, we're going to need 2 of these larger sections, and then we're going to cut a rectangle in the middle so that we can lay out our scene. So I'm thinking we're going to have a house at the back with some grass, maybe some fences. Oh, maybe these were too many. And maybe a car near the front. We could have some trees around about as well. And we'll have some grass here, and it'll say, muchas gracias. All right, so let's get inky. I'm going to cut this out of some, I think I might go for Kiwi Crush because it's bright, but I can always ink it up for a more grassy. Oh no, actually, let's not do Kiwi Crush because we want Kiwi Crush for the grass. We really want the grass to pop. So what is my, what's going to really make this pop? Let's see. So maybe we should go for, we could do blue, so it kind of has a sky effect behind it. Should we do that? Should we go for a light blue? Maybe a little ice blast situation. Love this. Butterfly Dude says, yeah, that looks so good. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait. Let's give this a go. So we need 2 of these panels. Sadly, this die is too big for my mini die cutting machine. So I will run it through my Gemini. Which is my electronic die cutting machine. And like I said, we need 2 of these panels. I'll put away my Kiwi Crush for now. So let's get my Gemini sorted. Actually, I placed an order last week, and I had intended to buy a large plate, a longer plate for my Gemini Junior. And I thought, yeah, 6x9, that must be it. And it arrived, and of course, 6x9 is the one I already have. But the good news is I now get to replenish my plates, which I am very excited about. So why don't we actually already have one that has been through the machine but hasn't been cut on. So I think what I'll do is I'll make this new one the new cutting plate, and then this one will be the pressure plate. So it's the little things that excite us, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Let's pop this on here. And we'll sandwich this together and run it through the Gemini Junior. And numero 2. Run this through as well. It's so weird to have straight flat plates. I like it. And on one of these plates, we are going to create an aperture. So that we can put our little hole in there so that we can see through it. Before I do that, I'm going to, hold on, I'm having a think. I'm thinking out loud here because I'm wondering if I want to add some like texture or design to this card stock. And the sad thing is I really want to use one of our new stencils. Do you guys think I should do it? What do you guys think? Do you think I should go ahead and use one of the new stencils? The top secret not yet been revealed. It'll have to be our secret. Ours and everyone else who watches this video. Do it, says Jasmine. Didn't take you long to persuade me, Jazz. All right, so I think I am going to do it. But what I want to do is use white ink. And I don't know if I have any white ink that is still fresh, but we'll give it a go. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, great. So I'm going to ink it before I crease it, which will get a better inking situation over the creases. Let me just tidy up because I'm having an encroachment situation here, and there's no need for that. All right, so I'll talk in a whisper. Not really. I'm going to use a new stencil from the new release. So our release is coming out in, let me think. So it will be revealed in its entirety by the 1st of September. And that is when you can actually place pre-orders on the Happy Doodle store. Our sneak peeks start next week on Wednesday. So you're getting a preview. And this is one of our more basic stencils, but I'm telling you now, you're going to love it time and time again. Okay, so this is it. This is called Let's Polka. Ah, you see what I did there? So it has a very basic polka dot design, but I think that everyone's going to love it because it's simple but so effective. And actually, one of the reasons I designed this is because I used to do scrapbooking, and I used to use all of the time polka dot paper and striped paper, like the tone on tone look. And I absolutely loved it. I would buy scrapbook paper, and you know that stuff's expensive, and I would turn it over to the other side and then use the what they call the B side, so the less interesting side, the one that was more tone on tone. And I thought, well, instead of actually using up lots of pattern paper, with a stencil we can create a similar effect. So I thought that this stencil would be the perfect addition to the stash. And actually, what I really enjoy doing with it is embossing with it using a tan mat. So we'll have to come back and do that another day. Nessa's here. Hey Nessa. Nessa says hello everybody. And Jasmine says, I love it. I love it too. All right. And I have used the Diane Reevely Station. Focus, please. To help me get those dots, or help me keep my stencil in place while I inked it up. So I have 2 panels. I'm going to ink up both of them. Hi Susan, how you doing? And I'm going to attempt to line up the stencil so that they are aligned, if you know what I mean. And one way to do this is to add a little bit of Happy Memo Tape sticky side up underneath here. Stick this down where it will be stuck eventually, and then line up your stencil once again. Oh, I did not want to stick, did it? I'm trying not to touch the ink because it is a pigment ink. So it will stay wet for a little while. Now let's put this first column of dots. I will put that right over this last row of dots, like so. Now if I do that, I am a row short on this side, so I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to see if I can move it across and down. Like so. So this bottom edge here, I don't want to be hanging off the edge quite so much. So that looks good to me. If you don't want to be super neat over here, cover it with memo tape. to make sure you're not getting ink off the edge of the stencil. I think that's it. Now, clean up duty. I love it. So good. Just look how pretty it is. So pretty. Suzanne's here. Hey, Suzanne. Have you had a good week, dear? What has everybody been up to this week? Anything exciting? I went to go see llamas and alpacas. Can you believe? So this lady, she decided that they'll get like sheep or something in order to like cut the grass and keep the grass in check. And she got some sheep and they were super messy. And then she was told that llamas and alpacas are much easier to keep. And so she got, I think it was started with 1 and then it went to 4. And now she has 86 alpacas and 4 llamas. Can you believe it? Absolutely not so crazy. Okay, this looks good. I'm shining it in the light to see if I can see if it's dried. I really don't want to smudge it. It looks so pretty. I'll pop them over here for now, and I'm going to go and grab my swirly cloud dies so that I can add some clouds to this pop-up card. If I can find them, it'll be the last one I look at, as is always the way. If I start looking from the front, it'll be at the back, and if I start looking from the back, it'll be at the front. What we call Sod's Law. All right, swirly cloud dies. Let's take out, there's actually already one in here, so that's good. Stella Louise is still decorating. Very good, well done, sticking at it. You deserve a treat for that. Marcy says, wow, I know, I love it. No wonder I couldn't resist using it tonight. All right, so I have 2 cards here. I don't think I'm going to need the big one. I think the big one's going to be a bit OTT for my little scene. All right, I'm going to take this one and cut the hole in it using the rectangular aperture. Right here. Now this does require a little bit of eyeballing. It doesn't really have to be perfect. It's gonna look good no matter what. Perfect. All right. keep this little panel. I think it's super cute. Definitely use that again. And now, where is my paper creaser? Gonna revisit these lines here and crease them up real good. Adding little creases to this will help make sure that your card folds in the areas that you want it to fold in, and not in any other areas. Just look at that. Isn't it just so pretty? It's soft, soft tones. That would be so beautiful for a baby boy card, don't you think? Or any baby card. Or a baby of any flavor. All right. Suzanne says, my oldest moved off to college today. Where does the time go? Oh my goodness. How are you feeling about it? Are you feeling a bit teary? Maybe a bit sad? Absolutely crazy. You say it was your eldest, so presumably you still have some in the house. That probably helps. When I went off to uni, I was the youngest, and I went the furthest away. And I don't think at the time I even thought about how my poor little mumsy would be feeling. She was probably feeling freedom. Huzzah. No, I know she wasn't. I'm mummy's girl. Okay, so we're going to stick this section here onto here so that we have, I mean, it doesn't matter. You could do it this way if you wanted to. It really doesn't matter. I like doing it this way because depending on how good my eyeballing is, this frame here may be a little bit shorter than this one. So you can line it up on top first of all to see if it's going to show. If you think it is going to show, just grab a little pair of scissors. Trim this panel down. And then use a ruler or your craft mat to line up these bottom edges. Like so. And I think the continuation of the polka dots looks really good. I'm looking on the screen and it looks really awesome. Woo's Creation said, my third child is off to uni in 2 weeks. She is ready. I am not. Aww. Suzanne says, I shed a few tears last night, but I'm excited for her today. I'm thankful she's just an hour away. My son is 2 years younger. Oh goodness, it's going to be all crazy for a little while. Okay, so this I could put in at the back, like so, or we could put a full panel in at the back. Depends what we want to do. And we want to add some grass. Now, should we do the bright green or should we go for something that's a bit more subtle? I actually think that the bright green looks really cool. So I'm going to maybe cut a few panels and see where it takes me. So I want to have a panel on the front because I was thinking of having thank you Ron down here, maybe using the stitched alphabeters for Ron, although they're quite big. Let's see. I'll lay this down a little second. Could have, there's my R, O, N. Ron here. And then maybe the thank you up top here. Thank you, Ron. So then this piece of grass, I want to be at least past this second dot. I think we can make that work, don't you? So let's take out this panel here. That'll work perfectly. And should fit on here as well. Suzanne says, yes, my daughter was ready. I wasn't. Oh. Okay, so we're going to be putting this in behind. Let's move Ron out of the way for a second. And right now we have straight grass, which actually maybe works because he has made it so well groomed, for want of a better term. We could have a little moo cow here, couldn't we? And then maybe another one at the back. So maybe we'll do that. I might actually make this a little bit lower down. So I'm just going to trim this down a little section. Just by about 1/8 of an inch, I think. Now, this little panel has got lugs on the side as well that you'll need to crease. Both sides. Oops. And I'm thinking of adding a little bit of ink to this. Now, I am a mowed lawn kind of girl. Recently, what is it called? What was the new one that came out? What was it called? What was it called? I'll have to open my drawer and see what it was called. This one. Rustic Wilderness. Rustic Wilderness. I think I might love it even more for grass. I think it gives a great tone to the grass. Gives it a little more depth there too. All right. So you could cut the grass here and put it on the front if we wanted to. That might actually be kind of cute. Give a different kind of dimension to the card. I think I'm going to go for it on the inside. All right. Now, usually when I am adhering these, I go for double-sided sticky tape. But I have discovered that a couple of ones that I have, a couple of box cards that I have used in the past, have kind of wanted to fall apart, which is unacceptable if you ask me. So I'm going to negate that by using some wet glue for this today. So I've only added it to the little thin section here, and I have added it about, oh, I don't know, less than a centimeter away from this fold here. And when I laid it down, I made sure that it was running flush against this bottom edge. And that's all I'm going to do just now for my first layer. We will add the layers and then sort out all the glue on this side afterwards. But this will give you an idea of what we're working with so far. So I wanted to have this here. In fact, I think I might add the run on here. And just make it stand up. I think we could do that. And I think we could do it in white. Should we give it a go? Yeah, let's give it a go. I'm going to see if I have any offcuts of my paint on cardstock. I do. It is thicker, so I think it will work really well for me, especially now that I want it kind of floating in midair. And I'm going to cut these twice, one for the front and one for the back, and we're going to sandwich it together, and that makes it way more sturdy. Now this paint on cardstock has a smooth side, that was my cow impression, and a textured side. And I'm going to go for the smooth side. For assembling these. I think it's so tiny it won't really matter, to be honest. All right, so that's my stitched alphabeters. Let's go ahead and add these onto the card just now, if they want to come off the cutting mat. I think I'm going to have to upgrade myself with this kind of the Happy Doodle cutting mat as well, I think. So I'm going to start with an O and add a little bit of glue. Put it right in the middle. I'm going to hold that for just a second while it mooshes and smooshes. And then I'll take my other O, add a little bit of wet glue, a little bit of Gluebert, bless him. He is, as always, the cutest glue in the craft room. Awesome. Okay, next up I'll do the R. I'll try to align it at the top here. No, there he is. Try not to put too much glue on because with the wet glue, it can get a little bit tacky. And I don't want any residual glue hanging around and making it harder for this card to pop up. So less is more, my friends. Okay. And the N. Get that into place. I might even need to die cut another little moo cow just to make him solid as well. Works best if you sandwich them. Awesome. So we're gonna have him right about here, I think. Yes, we need another moo cow for the reverse. I'm going to go ahead and use some more of this thicker cardstock, seeing as I have it to hand. Once we have everything assembled, we can, of course, come back in and add little flowers and things like that. I don't want to overdo it at the moment. So where is he gonna go? He's gonna go around about here, I think. So I'll put my thumb just where his feet are. Stick that down. And then I can open this out like so. And stick down Mr. Moo Cow. We'll call him Hamish. Hamish or Angus. I think that's got to be the two Highland Coo names. Jasmine's off to bed. No night, dear. Oh, I should mention to you guys, I got something in the post today, which is the latest edition of Die Cutting Essentials. And Hefty Doodle has got a 3-page spread in there. So excited about it. So cool. Loving it. It looks amazing. You can check that out. Okay, so another layer behind. The question is, should we go for a different color of green? What do you think? Should we have some more of this Kiwi Crush behind? I kind of like it, actually. Let's give it a go. So this will go the whole way across here. So let's trim this off. Keep my scraps. Always use them. Actually, we have a die coming up in our release that I know you're gonna love for using all your scraps. So that's exciting. All right. So here, I'm actually going to not use this die cutting machine for it because I want to do some partial die cutting here. I don't want this line here to cut because I want to extend this panel and make it a little bit taller. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just cut it the same and then move it up. There will be a gap at the bottom, but you won't see it. It'll be hidden behind Mr. Moo Cow. But because I want to show you something different, let me show you this. So what we want to do here is take our cutting die, and that blade we're going to hang off the edge of here, so it is not going to catch that at all. So we shall stick this down and layer it up as usual. One thing to be aware of is that some of the cutting plates are tapered at the ends. For example, the ones that we have here are tapered at the ends. So I could just put the die like here and it wouldn't cut. But those new Gemini plates they're the same thickness right to the very lip. So you definitely want to hang it outside. Like so. And that means you'll have this partial die cut piece. Like so. So now I'm going to take some long scissors and just hold the blade against that edge here and continue the cut down on both sides. Now remember, we have this little crease. It'll only go down as far as the die went down. So we will continue that with a tool. And I feel like I'm probably going to have to either cut along here or cut along the bottom edge here. This doesn't even look straight, so I'll probably cut along the bottom to start with, maybe. So that is 2 1/8. And that is 2 1/8. So let's trim this down because we want to make sure that these edges are straight. Ooh. There you go. If this bottom edge isn't straight, then these edges might not be straight and it might not stand up properly. All right, so this is going to be our next layer. I actually, instead of another like rolling hill, I'd like to have a little bit of a curve. So I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball this and curve it down. Like so. And this is going to be where our house lives. Once again, let's adhere this down using a little glue. Oh, glue bird. And depending on how many layers you want, if you're going to do more layers, you might want to put this only like not halfway between here and here, but leave another little gap. I don't know if I'm going to have another layer. All right. Let's die cut another house as well. So that's nice and sturdy. You gotta have a sturdy house. Everybody knows it. Now for my house, I think I'm actually going to put on one of these little fences first of all. Add a little bit of glue behind it at the bottom. I'll go right up to the edge because I want to make sure that it doesn't get caught when it moves back and forth. And this is going to go right in here. But we'll have another fence on the other side, like so. Let's get a little bit of glue here for this guy too. And I think I'm going to go for a tree next. And then the next fence. So the tree's definitely going to be overhanging by a little tree trunk. So he's going to need to be reinforced. There we go. Okay. So you don't necessarily have to die cut each of these individual pieces. You could just put a piece of card over these so that it is covered essentially. I like using the exact dies. I think it gives it a nice finished feel. So I'll just add some glue to my house, making sure that you put it on the front of the die cut, not on the back. And then align it carefully. Now, one thing you could do here is put a little piece of acetate to have some smoke coming out the chimney if you wanted to. That would be cool. Now let's get some little tree and maybe a fence or two. To make it nice and sturdy. Does anyone have any plans for the weekend? So I think we're going to attempt to make some cookies tomorrow. Was on Piper's agenda, although if she's feeling poorly, she might not want to do very much, bless her. She might just want to curl in bed. Just watch movies. She actually said to me that she really wanted to watch Mamma Mia. Oh, she wanted to sit and watch Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2. I think she's been listening to the music. On the Echo Dot, so she's been asking questions about the movie, wanting to see the movie. So. my little tree. Okay, another of the fences. I want to make this really sturdy because I feel like when you make an interactive card, especially for men in my experience, people love playing with them, which is good, but sometimes to the detriment of the construction of the card. So I'm not having any of that. Thank you very much. So we have got a little house. We have a tree. Where's that baby tree? We can maybe put this baby tree here. Yes, let's put the baby tree here near Mr. Cow. Of course, we're going to need a stabilizer for him as well. Should have thought of this at the start and just done them all at the same time. But you live and learn. Oh, we also had some exciting news this week where our neighbors who have a big white Labradoodle, who shall not be named because my doggo loves him so much. He gets rather excited when you say his neighbor's name. But they're going to wait for a few days from the first. So we're going to have a house guest. How exciting! Yay! All right. So now we have our little guy. We also have our house. Can you see it so far? And I want to put in some of the clouds. So, and I also want to put in muchas gracias sentiment. So I'm thinking that we add some clouds using a little bit of acetate. We'll stick this down first of all, actually. Might as well use my wet glue, seeing as I have it here. And this way around. Eyeballing that one a little bit, but that's all cool. And we're going to add a muchas gracias. And we're going to add a panel for adding the acetate. So I think I'm going to, I could do a panel that is white, but I think it would look better if we have all three green panels showing at the back. And it does not need to be extended. We don't need to worry about that this time. So I'm actually going to cut 2 of these, which will once again help me acetate, or help me sandwich the acetate. And this one will cut the top section of my die. Doesn't matter. That will be the behind piece. And we'll actually be trimming off the ears, as I want to call them, as well. We just need to make sure we're sandwiching in the acetate pieces. we're going to cut off these end sections here. And I'll cut them off with sort of an extra 2 millimeters because I don't want it to stick at all. Right, acetate time. Let's go hunting for some acetate. Heat resistant. Don't need heat resistant, but I would like extra thick acetate if I can find it. Where would it live? Where are you living? Extra thick acetate. Oh, I wonder if I've used it all. Either used it all or put the pouch back in the wrong slot. Bear with me a second while I do a little bit of hunting. I feel like I can't have used it all. The extra thick acetate just helps it stand up much easier. This is one of these situations where I miss having Heffertal in here because I could have just grabbed one from the shelf. It's be here somewhere. Well, I might just have to have one of the floppier ones. Let me just check over here in this other section, or even check in my scrap, because sometimes I'll put them in my scrap box by accident, of course. Laminate, foil. This is really annoying. I'm sure as soon as I get off the stream, I'm gonna find it. The whole pouch is missing, so I fear it's been misplaced rather than all used up. I might just have to put my clouds straight onto the backing. Oh, sacrilegious. Judas. Oh, it's sad when this happens. All right, I have heat-resistant acetate and some normal acetate. Let's try some of this. In fact, a little piece just fell out at my feet, so I'll just have to use that. Hey, Bronwyn, how you doing? Who's Ron? She says, Ron is our neighbor, and he is very sweet, and he has been mowing the lawns for us out the front, where we have like our front yard and then a wall, and then there's a grassy verge before the road, and he has been a super. It's a ride-on lawnmower, and he will mow out the front of he'll mow his garden, he'll mow out the front of his, but he comes along all houses and gives them all a trim. And it makes it just look so much nicer. we have a little electric robot mower that goes around in our garden, but it all works on a wire, so it doesn't go outside our fence. So we really, really appreciate it whenever he comes up to do that. All right, I actually think I might do a full panel. I think it will be less distracting. Like so. So let me make sure that this isn't going to be too tall, which it is ever so slightly. Perfect. And I know I have been using wet glue so far, but for acetate, I'm actually going to use a little ATG action here. On here. Because the wet glue doesn't really like sticking to the non-porous surface of the acetate. So here I have my acetate stuck on here, and I'm going to add this using a little bit of glue, a little bit of Glue-Bert here. And of course, I'm going to be adding my muchas gracias sentiment as well. So once again, make sure that you're lining it up against the bottom. See, this is poking out ever so slightly, so I'll give that a second. Trim this off. What a good guy. Yeah, and I couldn't resist it because we have the little Highland cow, and then the sentiment in the Highland honey says muchas gracias. So I like the fact that it was a thank you sentiment, also ties with Highland cows, and also had the words grass in it. I mean, how much more perfect can you get? Not really any, to be honest. We wanted to have a thank you up here, and then I might actually put the muchas gracias sentiment here on the front. But let me see if I can get these guys kind of floating around a little. I think that would work. So once again, I will prefer to use a dry adhesive rather than a wet adhesive. So I'm going to go ahead and use some glue dots for these. Bronwyn says, hi everyone. And perfect. Oopsies. That kind of pulled up my little bit of the layer there, so I'm going to redo that one. I'll have to make sure I take a photo of this before I give it to him. And there we go. And you know what? I don't think that one's going to need a backer on it, to be honest. But I do need a muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. So here's where I start hoping that my muchas gracias fits in my what is saying dies. Let's go take a look. Oh, I can't see them. Oh, here's one. What you saying now? What you think? The last one in here, of course. So I could go blue to match the blue here. Oh, I also wanted to have a thank you up here using my bold banner sentiments. So I've also got some yellow in here. So I actually think I'm going to go yellow for my thank you. And then maybe blue for my muchas gracias. Just grab a little bit of card. And for these bold banner sentiments, I'm definitely going to want to use Catherine Pooler inks. That's my go-to ink when I am stamping solid type images. So what did I say? Yellow for the top, I think I said. Maybe a little tiara or limoncello. Let's try tiara. It's so nice. I'm gonna go again and hope it hasn't moved. Just want it to be really easy to read. It is. It's so pretty. And para muchas gracias. Let me grab that from the Highland Honey stamp set. And I'm not sure if this is going to fit. Let's take a look. Oh, it does. Perfect. It's perfect. I love it when that happens. Okay, let's stamp this using a dark blue. In fact, I got some Catherine Pooler inks in the mail today, which I'm very excited about. Still in the craft, still in Heavy HQ, and there was a blue in there which would have been perfect, but sadly I'll just have to use what's in my stash. And in my stash I have something borrowed which I think will work perfectamundo. Loving it so much. Let's put him back where he belongs. He doesn't get lost. And we can get die cutting with both our muchas. thank you. So for the thank you, that's from the Bold Banner dies. Oh, and it's a little baby one. So let's line this up nicely here. And once again, we'll die cut 2 of these shapes, because I think this will overhang slightly. And this way we can sandwich it and make sure it's nice and sturdy. We'll need to do the same with our wedges saying. I'll die. I'm so happy about this. Isn't it nice when a plan comes together? All righty. We are nearly ready for the final assemblaging. So this thank you is going to go right here, overhanging. A little top edge. And try and center it here. Open. And then wet glue on top of this one. And stick it on. And then muchas gracias, just where it has gone through the machine, there's a little like crease line on the card, totally normal. I'm gonna just give it a massage it out. And we're gonna stick this on right here at the front. Like so. And sandwich in here. Now guys, we are at the final furlong. We are going to simply add a little bit of glue to these end sections and close over the card gently. Like so. I'm going to give that at least 30 seconds. And while I'm doing that, I am going to, I think, add a panel to the back of my card. Perhaps using the, oh la la, the little scalloped rectangle here to the back of the card. So I can write a thank you onto it. We're also going to add some tape or glue along here and fold this over. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use some glue for this. I added tape on the other side, I think. Just give that a second to go about its business. And I can already see that it is holding up well. Looking good. And here we go. Let's zoom in. We have, thank you, Ron. Muchas gracias. Oh, I thought it was a smudge. And then we have our little house, our Highland cow, and the clouds in the background, which are super fun. You get that sort of floating effect in there. So yeah, I'm thinking on the back, maybe we'll add a little panel. In fact, maybe just a stitch panel would be fine. I like the idea of I like seeing the blue, but I also want to be able to write a little message and yeah, give them a little message. So what do you think we should go for? Should we go for the yellow to tie in with that? Or maybe we go for yellow frame and then white on the inside, or vice versa? Shall we test drive that theory? Marcy says, I love that die set. Mita. So pretty. So I'm using Sunny Side Up, which I think is my new most favoritist color. I used to be like all about Razzleberry and Simply Delicious. And don't get me wrong, they are still really good contenders. But there's something about Sunny Side Up. It just makes me happy. Just makes me so very happy. So we're either going to go for a yellow frame with white on the inside, or a white frame with yellow inside. Actually, I think a white frame with yellow on the inside will look better. Oh, did I refocus? I'm so sorry. There we go. I think this will look better. I got carried away with my Sunny Side Up. So let's see. What do you guys think? We have this side like so. Flip it over, either yellow on the inside with white frame, or yellow on the outside with white inside. I think I like the white against the white here the best. So let's stick this down. Like so. Nancy's here. Nancy, long time no see. I'm usually stuck at work, but I got off early enough to watch you. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy that you're here. Hey, Nancy girl. It's been such a long time. Hope Friendlies is keeping you busy. All right, I think I am done. I'm going to stick this onto here, but you know, before I do that, I'm actually going to write a sentiment on here tomorrow, and then I'll stick it on. So here we have the finished card for tonight. We have thank you, Ron. We have a muchas gracias, a Highland cow, and a little house in the background too. It folds down flat like so to go into an A2 envelope. So I think that Ron is going to love it. I hope that you guys had fun watching as well. I am going to go and rest my weary head now. It's been an extremely long week. And for those of you who missed the start of the stream, we are gearing up for release time. We shared some little peekies. Early in the week, we went on a field trip out to a llama and alpaca farm because, yes, you've guessed it, we have got llamas and alpacas coming on our next release. Yay! I have to say, they're so cute. And yeah, so keep an eye out for some more sneak peeks on our blog, on our social media. Sneak peeks officially start on the 25th, and we will be open for pre-orders on the 1st of September. And as always, if you place an order with us between pre-order phase, so it's the 1st to the 8th of September, you'll get a free stamp set, and if you spend over £45, you'll get the coordinating dies to go with that stamp set too, and I think you're gonna love it. But you'll have to watch out and wait to find out more about what that stamp set is going to be. I'm going to love you and leave you now. Wu's Creation says, I adore this. I have a long wish list. Don't we all? Don't we all? But we all deserve a little treat every now and again too. All right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you get to be creative. I also hope that you get a little rest too. So until next time, you guys, happy crafting. Bye.